Thanks. It's Wednesday, June 11th, 2025. Coming up on the program today, meet Skelton's secret to his youthful glow is being repulsive to women. Plus, speaking in tongues in the dykiest way possible, trying to use your Costco membership card to get through TSA, and another TikTok challenge ends in a low oxygen death. All this coming up today. Distorted View Daily proudly presents religious people speaking in tongues.
You know, signs and wonders are for the unbeliever, and you may be a believing unbeliever, but let me tell you, see, signs and wonders always come to back the message, to back the gospel, to give glory to Jesus Christ. And let me tell you, God is about to release signs and wonders following true believers to shakaba, wah, ha, 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 to glorify the Lamb. Yay! To attest that, woo! He is God, woo! And so right now, we just release them lightnings. I thank you, Lord, for them lightnings. We just loose them lightnings in the glory. And hail and them lightnings. The lightnings and the hail and the glory. May you tap into those treasure houses of hail and snow. And may your adversaries get dumped on in the glory. Shaka Baba. It's finished. It's done. The adversaries have been dumped on already. Shabba dabba ding dong.
It's Distorted View Daily with Tim Henson.
She is a fat cunt.
I'm a mommy. Ah!
The vagina is full of AIDS.
Christian now fears his flatulence.
Yes, Tim Henson back here with you for your Wednesday podcast. Have a great one for you. You know, it's June. It's Pride Month. Every year, we celebrate in a distorted view-like way. We feature shitty gay and lesbian artists as Linda Finkel Hall of Fame nominees. We've also gone over so many new neo-pronouns. Hate preachers. Love to hear pastors going on and on about how God hates fags. This is how we celebrate the month. It's become a yearly tradition. And honestly, it's a lot of fun. At the top of the show today, you heard some religious folk speaking in tongues, one of the more ridiculous practices of certain extreme Christians. By the way, they even know themselves how stupid they sound. Got a great clip here for Pride of a pastor speaking in tongues.
And I'm going to talk in tongues anywhere I want to.
Oh, I love this brand of exasperated, desperate Southern women. Just the way they talk. I want you to know something. It's like that woman from Trading Spouses. I want my God and I want my family. Her name was Jade. I went to her station. That's the episode. A Christian woman and a New Age mystical lady swapped families. It did not go well.
I want no money. I want nothing. I want my God and I want my family.
And by the way, no one was taking these things away from her. She was a willing participant in this show. She knew beforehand. She just had to spend a week, living with a different family.
She was tampering in dark-sided stuff. She's not a Christian. The entire house is dark-sided too. Gargoyles, psychics. This is tainted. I don't want it.
Yeah, she rips up the check that she receives for participating in the show. I guess when you complete your week with the other family, you get, $20,000 or something. She rips that up. Now, as dramatic of a performance that was, the Academy Award goes to Marguerite Perrin here. At the very end of the show, text appears on the screen indicating that she did, in fact, take the money. Yeah, she had the show issue her another check, and of course, she cashed that motherfucker. Way to stand up for your principles. Jesus strong. By the way, check this out. She actually turned out to be a really cool woman. Naturally, the gays loved her on this show. She's fat and dramatic. That's all it takes to be like an icon in the gay community, right? Then her daughter, I think maybe one or two of her daughters were tragically killed. Not by like a murderer or something. It was like a car accident. And you know who was there for her, offering her support? The queer community. So she's like, I love my gays, even though they're dork-sided, ungodly. It's okay. Actually, gays take that as a compliment. It's funny. We have those printed on shirts in rainbow font, like a catchphrase. Anyway, I'm sorry. Any chance I get to talk about the God Warrior, I take it because, I love her. Probably the most popular episode of that dumb show, Trading Spouses. Although, we all talk about the dork-sided, Gorgile, Slykick episode. She came back and moved in with a black family, and that episode is just as good. She talks about how she would love to be a black person back in the day. She'd be the happiest black person. Like, she just has no idea of the struggles black people have had to deal with. She doesn't get it. She'd be like, I'd be hip-hopping all over the place. It's just like racist, but she doesn't know she's being racist.
I wish you could be black for a week. You'd probably kill yourself.
What?
Yeah.
I would not, because I could tell you something. I'd be hip-hopping and having a good old time eating gizzards.
Now, the guy wasn't a saint either. He tried to push her buttons.
You don't burp?
No, please. I got a weak stomach. I'm serious. Oh.
You don't pass gas?
Oh, my God.
When I go to the bathroom, I straight up disrespect the toilet.
Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. I'm telling you, it makes me sick. Oh, man, not again. Oh, no, really, I got bad dry heaves.
The real star of the show, I'm sorry, is the audio engineer. Whoever put that music to her dry heaves, brilliant. I hope they got an Emmy for that one. Again, I'm sorry. I know over the years we've talked about the God Warrior so many times, but I love that bitch. Back to the topic at hand, though. We've got a pastor saying I'm on wherever I want to speak tongues, I'm gonna do it. No one's gonna stop me. And it's like, no one is stopping you. I mean, we might look at you weird. We're not gonna understand what the fuck you're talking about. We're gonna think you're insane, but it's a free country. I mean, it really seems like she wants to be a victim here, but okay, pop off, queen. Are gays still saying that? I'm trying to, faggot it up a little bit for Gay Pride Month. I'm a very bad homosexual. The thing with gays is they're always coming up with, new words and phrases, and I can't keep up with that shit. I'm still saying fierce. I don't think gays say that anymore. The other thing I hate about homosexuals, and the list is always growing, sometimes they'll come up with a word or a way of saying something that I can't reproduce. I think it started on RuPaul's Drag Race where one of the drag queens is like, oh, maybe that was Wendy Williams. I can't roll my whatever that. I can't make my mouth make those noises. I sound like I'm drowning. It's like okay, but there's some R's in there. Got water in my lungs. Anyway, let's get back to this pastor speaking in tongues.
And I'm going to talk in tongues anywhere I want to. If men can put on pantyhose.
Of course.
And a dress. And put on some eyeliner.
I mean, think about what she's trying to say here. To her, the idea of a man in a dress, wearing makeup, prancing around like a woman is weird, is stupid, an abomination, if you will. So she should be allowed to speak in tongues, which is equally as dumb. Right? That's her argument here. If men can be weird and wear eyeliner, I can be weird and speak gibberish on the street to strangers. It's like, yeah, you can do that. People do that. It's no different than the homeless crackheads talking like this. Yeah. Then what did Jesus say? Oh, no, she didn't. She's a trifling second coming of ho is what she is. Thinking she all that, walking on water, washing strangers' feet like she's some sort of saint. Jesus is just a foot freak. He ain't fooling anyone. Again, I have to ask my gay audience, are we still referring to guys as she? That I do kind of like, especially when it's talking about straight guys, because it just really irks them. What is her problem? It's just, emasculating.
And walk around and make me uncomfortable. Then I'm a shotorobosa. Iramandarabakata. Mandorobosakatande. Iramandarabosakata. I'm taking back some territory. In Jesus' name.
Oh, they love to war cosplay, don't they? We're in a massive battle. We are pushing the enemy back. We're taking territory. Yeah, you're really doing something. Shabashiki akaboko. We're all just shaking in our boots. By the way, if we have any religious scholars in the audience, I really feel like I've got such a wide audience. I've got a lot of gays who can help me out with some problems, biblical scholars with other problems. In reality, I can't believe either group is listening to this show. Anyway, I learned something about tongues recently. Supposedly, in the Bible, there are several passages where it's mentioned if you speak in tongues, the person who is listening to you should be able to understand what you're saying. I don't know if you're on some sort of like freaky Christian wavelength, but if you're speaking in tongues and no one knows what you're saying, you're doing it wrong. Also, it's not very helpful. Corinthians 14:9, unless you speak intelligible words with your tongue, how will anyone know what you're saying? You will just be speaking into the air. Also in Corinthians, if anyone speaks in a tongue, 2 or 3 at the most should speak, 1 at a time, and someone must interpret. If there's no interpreter, the speaker should keep quiet. You hear that, you stupid bitch? Let me put this in words you might understand. Shabba shiki shaka fuck up! Yeah, the speaker should keep quiet in the church and speak to himself and to God. Woman shouldn't even be talking at all, quite frankly, if we're going by the Bible here. Biblically speaking, if someone is speaking in tongues in public, it should be understandable, either by interpretation or because it is a known human language. Otherwise, it doesn't serve the body of Christ and may confuse instead of edification. I've always said that these pastors that go up on stage and start speaking in tongues, they're just being lazy. Why go through the trouble of writing a whole sermon when you can just stand up on stage and be like, and the audience goes crazy anyway. In the end, that collection plate's going to be sent around whether human fucking words are uttered or just cow noises are uttered into the microphone. How's that any different than tongues? Jesus has entered my body. Moo! Moo! Listen to him preach the gospel. Moo! Moo! I mean, that's an approximation of what cows sound like. Well, there you go. Just a ridiculous female preacher speaking in tongues. By the way, she's given total lesbian vibes. She's wearing a mashup of some fucking Sally Jesse Raphael and Lisa Loeb style glasses. She thinks she's speaking in tongues when in reality, all she's doing is exuding lesbian energy. Here's some tongues for you. Subaru Forester. Women's softball team. Carpet matcha, 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 carpet matcha. Shaba Birkenstocks. Rosie O'Donnell, Ellen DeGeneres. All right, let's move on. Speaking of lesbians, Meade Skelton is back with a new video. Believe it or not, for the last 2 weeks or so, Meade has been losing weight. He's in the 260s now. So svelte. You know, when I first started seeing these videos of him, losing a few pounds here and there, I gotta be honest with you, I was a little disappointed. It's much funnier when he's getting fatter. So I thought. What I failed to factor in, though, is the second Meade starts to lose a few pounds, he then becomes an expert in weight loss, right? He's got this arrogance about him that starts to bubble up. And now he's thinking he can coach other people into, here's what you should be eating. Here's how you lose weight. Meanwhile, he's still fat. You're still fat, Meade. When you get a six-pack, and stop looking like you got titties, that's when I'll start taking weight loss and nutrition advice from you. That being said, the fact of the matter remains he's still an insufferable asshole. He can't hold the job. He lives with his dad. He's a virgin. Never had a girlfriend. Even if he loses weight, it's not going to change a whole lot. I mean, it'll be good for him, though. Being healthy is important. But it's not, a magic bullet. It's not like he's going to, get down to 200 pounds and women are going to throw themselves at him. They're still going to have to interact with you. And that's really when their defenses go up, when they realize who they're talking to. Meade, though, has recently posted a video titled My Secret Fountain of Youth. He's going to share with us the tips and tricks to staying young, or at least looking young.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fit and Lean. If you're new, please hit that like and subscribe button. Well, folks, I get a lot of comments, especially at work, and people are often surprised about my age, And, I'm 46 years old. I just turned 46, and I'm in my mid-40s, and I look about maybe 10 years younger.
Wait till you freaks hear what is keeping him looking young. By the way, let's not forget he dyes his hair. I'm not against that, by the way. I've started experimenting with that. But what I'm using is this stuff that keeps some of the gray in there so it looks more natural. You know, when you shellac your hair or you paint on this fucking dye, every square inch of your head is that same color. There's no variation. So it just looks super fake. I'm sorry, his hair just looks super fake. But okay, he thinks he looks great.
Maybe I'm being a little bit too generous, but I do look young for my age. And I will tell you the secret of looking young. And I do believe, folks, that the reason I look young for my age is because I happen to be a virgin.
I mean, you know his thought process here. He's taking all these negative things and trying to improve them, right? So he's fat. He's starting to lose weight. Good. Virgin is bad. I'm gonna make that a good thing. Being a virgin is what keeps me looking youthful, you see? Mm-hmm.
See, being a virgin has kept me young. I'm not tainted with anything. I haven't made soul ties with other people because I've never had sex with anyone. I don't have all their stuff on me.
It is pretty gross when they get their stuff on you. It's like, can't you aim? Now I gotta wash your stuff out of my hair. You know, like a rogue strand of that stuff lands on your clothes on the floor or something. It's like, great, I just washed these pants.
So I've kept a youthful appearance by being a virgin. I am a virgin warrior.
I'd rather look my age and get laid on a regular basis than look 5 years younger. It's okay. What's the point of looking young if you ain't getting laid? It's like totally wasted.
For Jesus. And don't be ashamed, if you're over a certain age and you're still a virgin, never had sex, because...
Imagine a fucking 46-year-old guy who spells out sex because it's a bad word. This is not someone you should aspire to be. Even if you're a Christian, you should look at this guy and be like, what a fucking weirdo.
It will keep you looking youthful, and that's sort of the secret to looking young. Look at all these haggard people in Hollywood. Now, of course, they get surgery and stuff, but have you seen Jude Law especially? Remember, Jude Law was supposed to be the most handsome man in Hollywood. Of course, I never thought he was.
Yeah, for me, I much prefer a Timothée Chalamet-like body. Yeah, something smooth and slender. I've never seen a heterosexual male talk about other guys' looks as much as Meade does. He's obsessed.
Now, and he looks terrible for his age, and bless his heart, I know that's very hard when you're, once a very, good-looking... And I was once a Twinkie myself, so I know the pain,
I know I say this all the time when we play Meade, but it just needs to be said again. I just need to get it out. How is this a straight man? I refuse to believe he's heterosexual. That's why he's a virgin. Because I find women to be gross. On some level, this has to be true. I mean, what straight guy calls himself a Twinkie? A twink is like a gay term.
So every time you put it in there, so to speak, you are really putting yourself at risk for aging rapidly. Sex really ages people fast. That's why the day that I do get married and when I have children, we're just going to knock it out 1, 2, 3, and that's it.
Spoken like a man who loves pussy. I'm just going to close my eyes and do it as quickly as possible and get it over with. I mean, this is just bolstering my theory. What virgin is like, when I do finally have sex, I'm hoping it's over before I get sick. Just thinking about it is making me a little queasy.
Because I do believe that being a virgin has kept me youthful. I have young virgin energy. That's why I feel like an 18-year-old.
Oh my God, I hate him so much. I hate this man. I hate him. We have featured so many despicable people on this podcast. Glenn Miller, the guy who attempted to shoot up a Jewish center. Remember him? Before that happened, I actually interviewed him. He was running for Congress as a racist. I found him more likable than Meade. I mean, Glenn Miller is obviously a worse human being, but who would I rather sit down and have a drink with? Probably Glenn Miller.
I do believe that the day that when I unvirgin myself, I'll make sure that I don't allow that to absorb into my cellular structure. This man spent a lot of money on trying to look younger by taking his son's blood, But he didn't mention the fact that you shouldn't have sex. Stop having sex with all these random people. Maybe that will help. Because...
Yeah, I'm going to need you to cite your source on that one.
That's my secret, folks. I am a virgin. That's why I look so young. I look up to 10 to 15 years younger than my age, possibly.
He really is quite vain, isn't he?
People notice it, too, and it's just something that, I have good skin. I have decent hairline. I don't think I'm a Norwood 1 yet. I'm almost 50 and I'm not a Norwood 1.
This is how you know Mead is obsessed with looks maxing, vanity, incel culture. I had to look up what the fuck a Norwood 1 was. The Norwood scale is about hair loss and hairlines. Norwood 1, this is from BosleyHairTransplant.com, is Norwood Scale 1 balding. Norwood Scale 1 is considered an age-appropriate hairline. Normal maturation of that typically occurs from adolescence to adulthood. Thus, Norwood Class 1 is not considered balding. Still, the hairline is shifting when you're a Norwood 1 because you're aging and some of the hairline, I guess, on the sides go back. And to fix that, you're going to want to use minoxidil, I guess, Rogaine. So Mead thinks he has not achieved the middle-age normal hairline known as the Norwood 1. Okay. Thank you very much, Mead, for that. It's been a while since we've had some great recalculous content from that nut job. And just in case you don't have reason enough to dislike this man, a recent post on the Apricity reads, Harriet Tubman was a myth. Not only was her story a myth, she looked like a human ape experiment gone wrong. I don't know why people call me racist all the time. Mead goes on to say that Tubman was actually an arsonist and a human trafficker. This is very upsetting for communists to discover. Mead has cracked the case wide open. He wants to set the record straight on Harriet Tubman thanks to him and the research he's done on some random racist YouTube channels doing quote-unquote documentaries. Well, there you go. Harriet Tubman was kind of a cunt. Can we make that today's Distorted View episode title? It all depends on how search engine optimized that phrase is. All right, and with that, let's get into the crazy, bizarre, twisted up, fucked up news right now. Despite the fact we're doing shorter shows this week, on account of the recent family health issues I detailed on Monday's podcast. We're still doing exclusive content for Sideshow members. Yesterday was a full-length episode just for paying freaks, and I even managed to squeeze in a little bonus segment on Monday. So if you'd like more DV, and more importantly, if you'd like to support the show, please consider signing up. Go to distortedview.com right now. Become a true and honorable freak. Sideshow members get exclusive full-length episodes and bonus segment shows throughout the week, every week. Memberships are very inexpensive. We've got monthlies, quarterlies, semi-annual, yearlies, and even lifetime memberships. When you sign up, you get access to a personalized podcast feed. You plug that into your podcasting app. That way you can see all of the exclusive shows alongside the free episodes. It works with most podcasting apps. Now, if you listen to DV through Spotify, you have to do things a little bit different. Instead of signing up on distortedview.com, you'll do it inside of your Spotify app. Just search for Distorted View. You'll see a link to sign up for Sideshow access, and then all of the exclusive shows will appear in Spotify. With Apple Podcasts, you're given a choice. You can either sign up over there at distortedview.com, or you can sign up inside of the Apple Podcast app. You can even use Apple Pay for your subscription. Again, just search for Distorted View in the Apple Podcast app. One final way to help support the show, we've got a Patreon account, patreon.com/distortedview. You can pledge as little as $1 over there. Every little bit helps. If you pledge at least $5, you get access to a special voicemail line where I will play your calls first. All right, 2 very quick stories now. First up, confession time. I don't really know what the real ID is. Last time I got my driver's license, they asked me if I wanted it to be a real ID, and I said, is that going to make things easier for me? Is it somehow going to save me time, cause me less aggravation? And they're like, yeah. So I said, yeah, let's do it. I also renewed my driver's license for like 10 years. It cost more, but now I don't have to go to the fucking DMV every 3 or 5 years or whatever it is. Anything where I get to be less bothered, I'm going to opt for it. I don't know what sort of personal liberties or rights I have given away by signing up for this real ID thing, but I don't really care. As long as I'm not hassled. I'm really a civil liberties nightmare. If I got a letter in the mail that said, hey, the government would like to purchase your house, they will own your land, and in return for that, you don't have to worry about anything. We'll take out the trash for you. That'll be our problem now. I would be like, yes, sign me up for that. That sounds great. This is exactly what I want. I'm a moron. I think at this point, for a while, like the real ID was optional and now it's required. I know it's required if you want to step foot on a plane. You either have to have like your real ID included in your driver's license, or you have to go through the trouble of getting a fucking passport, even to fly locally. If you want to fly to the next state over, you got to have all this extra shit. Well, the Transportation Security Administration has issued a public reminder to travelers. If you're packing for your next flight, leave your Costco card in your wallet because it's not going to help you get through airport security. That's an actual rumor that's been circulating for a while, and people believe it. We are a very, very dumb country. Now, the reason why people believe it is if you're a Costco member and you have a Costco card, one of the little design elements is a star. There's a star on the front of the Costco card. That's it. It's the whole reason people think they can use their Costco card, because on your driver's license, to indicate that you have the real ID, in the corner, there's like a little circle with a star. That's supposed to be the indication that it's a real ID. But they don't have a monopoly on the star shape. Other things have star shapes, including the Costco card. It doesn't make it a legitimate form of government ID. You're not going to get in and out of airports with a Costco card. You could leave a Costco with a delicious rotisserie chicken for $4.99, but you ain't flying. In a Facebook post shared on Wednesday, June 4th, the TSA addressed a bizarre rumor head on. Quote, "We love hot dogs and rotisserie chickens as much as the next person, but please stop telling people their Costco cards count as a real ID, because it absolutely does not." The post quickly gained traction online, sparking a flurry of playful comments from users. Quote, "So you're saying we should bring you a chicken?" joked one commenter. Another quipped, "Pretty sure the Costco card is stronger than some passports." As of May 7th of this year, all adults flying within the United States must present a real ID compliant driver's license or state-issued ID or a valid passport. What I want to know is what makes the driver's license real ID compliant. Like, what additional information is contained there? I don't recall giving up a lot more information when they asked me, hey, do you want this driver's license to be real ID? I was like, okay. And then maybe I had to give my social? I don't recall. These requirements stem from the Real ID Act passed by Congress back in 2005 in response to the 9/11 terrorist attacks. Here's the thing. It took from 2005 to 2025 for this real ID to become mandatory. In those years, we were flying just fine, right? There weren't any big issues terrorism-wise. So do we really need that real ID? It does kind of sound like bullshit. After nearly 2 decades of delays and extensions, the law is now in full effect nationwide. By the way, a lot of people didn't even know it went into full effect. People are like, what? They don't even know what a real ID is. They're designed to meet enhanced security standards. They can be identified by a white star inside of a yellow circle, typically found in the upper corner of the card. Without one, travelers may be flagged for extra screening at airports or denied entry into federal buildings that require identification. While most states are now enforcing the real ID requirement, there are some exceptions. States like Michigan, Minnesota, New York, Vermont, and Washington also accept enhanced driver's license, or EDLs, as an alternative form of compliant IDs. If you live here in the United States and you're confused and now concerned that you don't have a real ID, you can get one through the DMV, but you're going to have to provide additional information. Oh, okay. You got to prove your identity with a U.S. birth certificate or passport. Maybe that's what I brought. Maybe I did bring some extra stuff. 1 proof of social security number, 2 proofs of state residency, and proof of any name changes if applicable. So there you go. That's what's happening here in the United States. More bullshit and stupid people thinking they can get around said bullshit with store loyalty cards and stuff. I'm a Kroger Rewards member. That should be enough to let me on the plane. All right, final story we have for you. Well, another one bites the dust. And in a second, you're going to realize how funny that was. Just remember I said that, okay? The grieving parents, oh yeah, it's about a dead child. The grieving parents of a 19-year-old Arizona woman are speaking out after their daughter died from attempting a viral and potentially fatal online trend known as dusting. Get it? Thank you, I'm funny. If I keep driving that point home, you might just believe me. Rena O'Rourke, who had dreams of achieving fame, fell victim to the trend after inhaling aerosol keyboard cleaner at her family's home in Tempe. According to her mom, Dana, the product was discreetly delivered through a DoorDash order with no prior warning or knowledge on her part. After using the cleaner to get high, how great is it you can just DoorDash keyboard duster? Like it's just part of your lunch. Have an Arby's beef and cheddar, some curly fries, and hardcore inhalants delivered to your doorstep. Very satisfying. All right, after using the cleaner to get high, Rena suffered cardiac arrest. That's no good. She was rushed to the ICU, where she remained unconscious for a week before doctors declared her brain dead. Quote, she always said, "I'm going to be famous, Dad. Just you watch. I'm going to be famous." And unfortunately, this is not under the most optimal of circumstances. What a bizarre fucking quote from Dad. It's like, yeah, she achieved fame. My baby girl got what she wanted. It just wasn't under the most optimal of circumstances. Dad's a bit of a weirdo. The trend, often referred to as chroming or huffing, involves inhaling the chemical vapors of everyday household products like air dusters or glue. Oh, I do love the scent of glue. To achieve a brief euphoric high. Experts, including those at the Cleveland Clinic, warn that even a single use can be deadly, particularly due to sudden heart failure. Rena's parents described her as energetic, kind-hearted, and full of life. Dad added, and quote, she was a bit of an airhead. Get it? Like, Dad, stop it! This is not the time for your jokes. I'm sorry, it's not the optimal time for your jokes. No, Dad did not call her an airhead. Would have been funny if they did, though. They hope to prevent similar tragedies. It's a great tragedy. By educating families about the hidden dangers of inhalant abuse. Something you freaks know about. We covered this in great detail thanks to that A&E show Intervention.
This program contains subject matter and language that may be disturbing to some viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
I've been waiting for you.
I am addicted to inhalants.
Yes, who could forget Corey's great mashup where it's revealed that Darth Vader, who sounds like he's using inhalants, is in fact Allison's father.
I wish I had a father.
I am your father.
Yeah, I bet you our coverage of Allison and her episode of Intervention kept more people from trying inhalants than any other like PSA or news story about a child's death could possibly have done. Distorted View saves lives. The mother, Dana O'Rourke, said this stuff is cheap. There's no age restrictions to buy it. It doesn't smell. I thought it was supposed to contain like a bitterant or something that makes it taste really bad if you try to inhale it. It doesn't smell and it won't show up on a basic drug test. So if you are a drug addict, this is a great alternative to get around those pesky tests. That makes it incredibly appealing and incredibly dangerous for teens. She urged parents to be vigilant, even if it means being intrusive. Don't just take your kid's word for it. Well, of course, kids lie. It's like what they do best. Be suspicious of anything your child is telling you. Is this your first day of being a parent? I know this, and I'm not a parent. If you're unaware that children are little shits, you're probably the same type of person that arrives at an airport with a goddamn Costco card as your ID. But this is why we go over this information here on Distorted View. The mother went on to say, look deeper, search their rooms. I know it sounds harsh, but it could be the difference between life and death. To support medical costs, funeral expenses, and to raise awareness, the O'Rourkes launched a GoFundMe campaign. As of publication, it raised over $9,000, well past its $5,000 goal. The O'Rourkes hope their daughter's story can serve as a wake-up call to both teens and parents alike. Allison, you have the last word.
It's like I'm walking on sunshine.
Well, sounds like she's having a good time with this stuff. That, my friends, is your Distorted News for Wednesday. Let's do a couple voicemails and get the hell out of here. Love to hear from you freaks, and there are many ways to contact the show. Show at DistortedView.com. I'm all over social media at DistortedView on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook.com/DistortedViewShow. Now more than ever, I love to hear from you freaks. I want as many voicemails coming in as possible because I can play more calls, you see, and really stretch these shows out without doing a whole lot of extra work. So if you've got something to say or you want to cover something or ask me a question, call into the voicemail line. Or, become a patron, call into the Patreon-only line. Either way.
Hey, Tim, it's Silverday.
Hi,
how are you,
Davide.
man? I always want to know how you are. I could just text you, but it's just fun to say it on this, because then, it's all, chatty and stuff.
I'm hanging in there, doing the best I possibly can right now.
But I was just walking around, doing some stuff, and a unicorn hamster comes on, which I am blaring DV on a speaker.
Good boy.
Walking around where I am.
Hey, he's not a pussy keeping Distorted View in his ears, right? My message is begging to get out there. The world needs to hear what I'm saying, so don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed to play Distorted View daily, loud and proud.
Unicorn hamster comes on and goes...
I mean, don't get me wrong. This show could very well get your ass kicked, but...
Unicorn hamster comes on and goes, yeah, if I'm going to get into a polyamorous relationship where my wife is fucking some other guy, he can't be in better shape than me?
Yes, exactly, yeah.
Dude, who does that leave? Who is in worse shape than you? I've seen you, and you look like a fat Oscar the Grouch.
I don't even know if I'm sure I've seen Unicorn Hamster. I'm guessing we're friends on Facebook, but on Facebook, everyone goes by their real name. So I just associate, when I think about Unicorn Hamster, I'm looking for Unicorn Hamster. If I see John Adams on my feed, I don't immediately think, oh, that's the listener.
And then good luck, Unicorn Hamster.
Who wants to be in a polyamorous relationship.
Good luck with that. Cheers, Tim. Have a great day.
All right. Well, we've got some body shaming going on, but that's okay. We're not little snowflakes here. We can take it. I know Unicorn Hamster can take it. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what type of shape Unicorn Hamster is. If you want to send a full body shot, nude, I'll critique it.
Hello, faggots.
There he is.
Unicorn Hamster, check it in.
Right on cue.
I had to call back because you asked you asked if I was racist. No, Oh, yes, because Unicorn Hamster has some rules, right? In addition to the person, if he's going to be in a polyamorous relationship, the guy can't be in better shape than him, can't be more attractive. It's okay if they're Hispanic or Asian, but he does not want a black man fucking his girl. Not that attracted to black people.
But wait, you're not attracted to black people?
Not that attracted to black people.
Yeah, but it would be your girl fucking around. Is this like a threesome? Are you? I don't know what scenario we're talking about anymore.
Some of the women are hot. I'm just not that attracted to black people. And
is your girlfriend attracted to black people?
It doesn't mean that I'm racist.
No, not at all. I thought we were talking about. I thought you were setting rules for your girlfriend, like the type of guy that you would allow to have sex with her.
And that's...
So you have to... So wait a second. So if I'm understanding this correctly, you have to be attracted to the guy that your girlfriend would be having sex with, so you get something out of it too. Okay, well that makes a little more sense.
And you also asked, what do I jerk off into? Well, there's the cum rag I bought off of you, and I'm actually wearing the ass plays for all of us t-shirt. Those are the two items I bought from the DV store.
Oh, nice.
I can't use the one I bought from your store. It's too nice. It has so many good uses, so I don't use that as a cum rag.
I was wondering. The cum rag was, first of all, it was inexpensive, right? And it was a pretty good seller. But I haven't heard a lot of people call in saying, "Hey, I actually use it for its intended purpose."
However, I do use this used. Well, it's clean, but my boxers ripped, so I just ripped them up and kept them in the side of the bed and jerk off and blow my...
That's a good use for, like, blown out underwear or, underwear that has rips in them.
I've been blowing my load onto it.
I love that the Distorted View cum rag is too nice to come into.
I actually posted a clip of me blowing my load into a ripped up pair of boxers, so...
Where did you post that at?
Yeah, there goes
I didn't see that.
Questions. I'm going to let...
I'm always asking you guys to send me stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, I posted it online. Send it to me directly.
Personal affairs.
Okay, well, I get the idea. Thank you very much, Unicorn Hamster. I will say this. Whenever I have questions for Unicorn, he calls right back, gives me concise answers. He doesn't beat around the bush. Very forthcoming. That's why I love him. He'll say anything.
Hey there, Timmy Boo. Tim, I recently got my tax refund deposited into my bank account, and I was feeling a little flush with money. I was going to buy a lifetime Sideshow member.
Oh, thank you so much. I need it now more than ever. You're so... I'm cutting him off before he gets to the but then... So I'm gonna make you sound like a real asshole here. Oh, thank you so much for signing up for a lifetime. I could really use it. Things are very difficult right now.
But Tim, I just heard that you ate 2 entire feet of hot dogs.
Yeah, that's right.
Tim, I would have to be subscribed for like 5 or 6 years in order to, win out on that lifetime membership. Tim, I don't even know if you're going to make it till, Christmas, the way you're just guzzling down all this processed food.
Damn.
All right, Timmy Boo. I love you, and I'll stay a yearly member.
You heartless bastard. All right, thank you for all of the voicemails. Keep them coming. That's all the time we have on this edition of the show. I want you guys to email me, show@distortedview.com. Distortedview.com is our official website. Voicemail line for you, 206-666-4463. That's 206-660. God is no God.
I am a virgin warrior.
Spread the distortion, STD. Tell all your friends about the show. Don't forget to give us a 5-star rating, a thumbs up, or like wherever you can rate and review podcasts. Going to try to do another bonus segment today for Sideshow Freaks, and then tomorrow's episode is going to be Sideshow exclusive, so it's a great time to sign up. Go to distortedview.com right now. Otherwise, I'll be back on Friday to end the week. Until then, have a great day. Bye, everybody!
Well, look who's here. Hello, sissy.
Oh, Jerome, don't talk like that to your brother.
Why not? Does the truth hurt, faggot?
Jerome!
Never mind, Mother. I have to leave anyway.
Be careful you don't get AIDS, pervert.
This has been another excellent podcast from the Scribe Media Group. Learn more at scribe.net.